Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Heidi, and in this video I'm going to be talking about a book called The Bright and the Pale by Jessica Rubinkowski. I read this book a few weeks ago. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I just figured I'd make a review video on this book. When I got this book in I believe it was the Fairy Loot book subscription box. I was really excited because it was I'm always really excited to get the Fairy Loot subscription boxes because they're always really pretty, because it's a special edition book and all the things kind of surround the theme of the book. This takes place in a very wintry, mountainy-esque kind of location, and that's kind of what all the things inside the subscription box was. It was very wintry themed and kind of icy themed, and I really liked the theme of it. Reading the synopsis, I didn't think it was going to be one of my highly anticipated reads. I figured it might be kind of around the 3-star rating books. I finished it. It was a quick read. It's just 300, maybe a little bit over 300 pages, so I figured I'd talk about it in this review. So when Valeria was a very little girl, she lost her family in, they call it the freeze, her village that was kind of in the Knot Mountain. It froze over, kind of freezing everyone and everything frozen in time. And there is suspicion of how it happened, what went wrong, why did we lose this entire village and all these people. And Valeria was one of the survivors in this mountain. She was in the mountain when it happened and she escaped. It's now 10 years later, and Valeria is in hiding because a lot of people are suspicious of the survivors because there are very few, and they think they are the reason behind the freeze and all the lost people in the village, and the lost village as well. So she is in hiding. She's dyeing her hair dark brown because her hair is naturally white, and that indicates that she was from this village, and she's a part of these thieves. So the story starts off with Valeria finding out that one of her best friends she thought that passed away, which is named Alik, and she finds out that Alik is still alive. To see Alik, she is kind of thrown into this expedition to go and travel back to her home village, back to the Knot Mountain, and retrieve this valuable resource, or I guess a very rare resource called the Levite, and it was trapped within the Knot Mountain when the freeze happened. So they are on a mission, I guess, to retrieve this Levite. The whole travel through the snow, I didn't mind. I really was excited to see the travel through the snow and what would happen when they got back to the mountain. And along the way with this expedition, we kind of question what the main reason is to travel back to the Knot Mountain. Is it to actually retrieve this special resource, or is there another motive that Valeria was pushed and pressured into going on this expedition with this group of people? So that's kind of the base of the storyline. It's a lot of travel to the Knot Mountain and then finding secrets that happen that are at the mountain. I wanted to like this. I knew this wasn't going to be an amazing story, and I was truly gonna love it. I did have some issues with the story itself. Yeah. My main issue was the romance between Valeria and Alik. I really didn't buy into their attraction for each other or their love for each other. The main thing was they've been friends since they were very little, or they've been friends forever. So therefore they have so much love for each other. But it seemed like every interaction they had with each other, it was just constant fighting and arguing, and that's not that. It was more frustrating to go through than anything else. I just felt angry and annoyed every time they would be together. I don't understand why they had to have so much arguing and there had to be so much misunderstanding between the two. It was really annoying to get through, and I really didn't care about their relationship. I would have been fine if it was just a friendship and they had conflict between the two. I didn't like so much that it had to be a romance. I enjoy romance in a story, but I didn't think that was very strong or helped in the story very much. What I did like about the story was because it is a fantasy novel, a fantasy YA novel. The Bright and the Pale are actually two brother gods, and they are battling. They have beef between the two. I can't remember why or what the situation is, but they are at war with each other, and I guess somehow they've both been awoken and they are now looking for a champion to battle each other. And that was probably my favorite part of the story, but we didn't get much of it. It was mentioned a little bit about the brother gods at the beginning, and then more was brought about it and more understanding came to the end, and I didn't really like that. There wasn't much. It was more about like the travel to Knot Mountain in like the middle of the book, and I wish that we got more of the brother gods and more understanding of what they were or who they were or how. I don't know. I wish there was more of that because the only interesting part of the book for me was towards the end, and I just didn't feel fulfilled. I know there's another book coming out, and I think it's going to be a duology. So obviously there's a cliffhanger at the end. I didn't care for the cliffhanger, but the end of the book, I was more interested in towards the end of the book than I was any time throughout. I don't think I'm going to continue reading the book, only because I didn't enjoy it that much, and I don't care much about the relationship between the two love interests. I will say towards the end, I did get a sense of Islamic phobiasm stereotypes in the end. I wasn't too sure if that was the case, but I did get a sense of that. When I was reading some reviews on Goodreads, I didn't see anybody mentioning any of that, but I figured since I'm doing a review, I wanted to bring that up just because that's kind of how I felt, and if you felt the same way, let me know, because I wasn't too sure about that, and it was more towards the end of the story, so I didn't want to really bring up a lot of spoilers. I wanted to keep it more of a spoiler review, but that is something that I did come across towards the end of the book. And I think that's about it for this review. I did end up giving this book a 2-star out of 5. It was a little disappointing. It could have been a 3-star, I think. But overall, it was an okay book. So let me know if you read this book as well. Let me know your thoughts, or if you're going to be picking up this book to read or putting it on your TBR. Let me know in the comments if you stuck around throughout this whole video. Leave a snowflake emoji just so I know that you stuck around and I know you came all throughout the video. I also really want to know your thoughts on this book too. I want to know if I'm the only one who thought this way of the book, or if I was frustrated, or I want to know if anybody else like really enjoyed this book more than I did. So let me know. I'd really love to hear from you, and thanks for sticking around and watching me. Have a good one. Bye.